Hi, my name is Nur Huraira binti Rosman. My matrix number is 1013.
Hello, my name is Siti Haja binti Amir and my matrix number is 1024.
Hai, nama saya Irfan Daniel Benjamin. Nama matrik saya 1073.
My name is Muhammad Ilman bin Bahtiar and my matric number is 1021.
Cardiovascular disease is a trait using implantable cardioverter defibrillator ICD. There are solutions implant that will help our have a regular rhythm. Cardiac problems are the leading cause of death worldwide. While some people need pill and other drugs to help them with this, other people need the help of ICD. Through this device, heart problem can be easily controlled. ICD is used to prevent cardiac fibrillation and a permanent safeguard against sudden cardiac death. According to the data published by the National Health Institution the following year, an estimate 415,000 people suffer from sudden cardiac death. In addition, the prevalence of sudden onset of heart attack is developing countries such as smoking, sedentary lifestyle, and obesity is a project increase the prevalence of sudden onset of heart attack, which is expected to increase demand for ICD during the forest period. An implantable cardioverter defibrillation is an implantable electronic device that is effective for the treatment of sudden heart attack, means ICD detecting irregular heart rhythm and providing an effective electric shock with the aim of regulating the heartbeat. ICD is used for people who had an episode of sudden cardiac arrest or ventricular fibrillation, people who had an heart attack and are at high risk for sudden cardiac arrest, people who have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy and at a high risk of sudden cardiac arrest, people who have a dilated cardiomyopathy with severely reduced heart function and a high risk for sudden cardiac arrest, people who had at least one episode of ventricular tachycardia and abnormal heart rhythm. The ICD is the most famous use at Japan. Although implantable cardioverter defibrillator ICD is capable of treating cardiovascular disease, but it also has a high risk after surgery. Among the risks associated with the ICD, implantation are not uncommon but may include an infection at implant site, an allergic reaction to the medication using during the procedure, swelling, bleeding, or brushing where your ICD was implanted, damage to the vein where your ICD lead was placed, bleeding around your heart which can be life-threatening, blood leaking through the heart valve where the ICD lead is placed, and the lung collapsing pneumothorax.
A pacemaker is a small device that's placed in the chest or abdomen to help control abnormal heart rhythm. This device uses electrical pulse to prompt the heart to beat at a normal rate. In the hospital segment, cardiac pacemaker plays a pivotal role in addressing concerns pertaining to treating life-threatening cardiovascular disease. The global pacemaker market size was estimated at USD 4.5 billion in 2019, and is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 2.9% from 2020 to 2027. There are about 3 million people worldwide with pacemakers, and each year 600,000 pacemakers are implanted. With rare exceptions, implantation of pacemaker does not change the recipient's activities or lifestyle. A pacemaker is a small battery-operated device. This device senses when your heart is beating irregularly or too slowly. It sends a signal to your heart that makes your heart beat at the correct pace. As you can see, the hospital and cardiac center segment dominated and accounted for a revenue share of 61.1% in 2019. Hospitals and cardiac centers offer superior care to their patients and provide reimbursements during surgeries, thus witnessing incredible growth. The American Heart Association stated that the number of inpatients due to cardiac arrest is expected to rise nearly by 23.6 million by 2030. For the conclusion, the pacemaker circuit consists of the leads, device and tissue. Modern leads are usually bipolar, endocardial and active fixation, but all types of leads are available. Permanent pacemaker implantation was required in 9.7% of patients undergoing repeat cardiac surgery. This represented approximately a four-fold increase compared with similar primary operation reported in under series.
Is the artificial heart. Artificial heart is a device that replaces the heart. Artificial heart are typically used to bridge the time to heart transplantation or to permanently replace the heart in the case the heart transplant is impossible. And the next is the target market. Firstly, global artificial heart market size is expected to grow significantly over the forecast period. And the second, the market had a market value of USD 1.2 billion in 2017 and is projected to grow at a CAGR of 15.1% over the forecast period. And the third, the World Health Organization WHO in 2001, more than 17.7 million people died from cardiovascular disease, contributing to 31% of all the global deaths. And the next is analysis case. Firstly, the data is approved for use in stage biventricular heart failure as bridge to heart transplantation. And next, the number of patients with end-stage heart failure awaiting heart transplantation now for except for number of available hearts. Thirdly, the use of mechanical circulatory support including the TAH and left ventricular assist device LVAD is growing exponentially. The key issue. Firstly, a total artificial heart (TAH) is a pump that is surgically installed to provide circulation and replace heart ventricles that are diseased or damaged. Secondly, the ventricle pump blood out of the heart to the lungs and other parts of the body. And the last, machine outside the body control the implanted pump help blood flow to and from the heart. Recommendation. Firstly, TAH surgery may be an alternative treatment in certain patients who are unable to receive a heart transplant. TAH surgery can lead to serious complications such as blood clots or infection. Next is the benefit. Firstly, they can be made entirely out of material that do not cause rejection by the body, unlike with heart transplant. Conclusion is AH implantation is an effective therapeutic option for the treatment of patients with end-stage biventricular heart failure.
Is artificial heart valve. An artificial heart valve is a man-made device used to replace a heart valve that is not working well. Disease may damage a heart valve so that it leaks or stops working. When damaged valves cannot be fixed, artificial valves may be used to replace them. This is done during an open heart surgery called heart valve replacement. Is target market of the equipment. The global prosthetic heart valve market is projected to reach USD 8.86 billion by 2022 from USD 4.84 billion in 2017 at a CAGR of 12.9% in the forecast period. Market growth is attributed to the rising geriatric population and subsequent growth in prevalence of heart valve disease, regulatory approvals for new and advanced prosthetic heart valves, increasing government funding for heart valve research, rising awareness about heart valve disease, and favorable reimbursement scenario for prosthetic heart valves. North America accounted for the largest share, 56.06% of the global prosthetic heart valves market in 2017. Next is analysis case. Artificial heart valves may be mechanical heart valves or biological heart valves. Mechanical heart valves are made of non-physiological materials with a mobile occlude, which is usually made of fairly rigid materials. Biological heart valves are in reality a combination of tissue and synthetic biomaterials, with the tissue itself being flexible and today made up largely of porcine aortic valves of bovine pericardium. Key issue: the choice between repair and replacement is influenced by a number of factors including age, type of the valve's disease, and other medical conditions. When valve replacement is performed, there are options of mechanical or tissue heart valves. Two classes of valves confer different characteristics and each have their advantage and disadvantage. Mechanical heart valve. Mechanical heart valves are made from materials such as titanium and carbon. They usually consist of two leaflets and a metal ring surrounded by a ring of knitted fabric, which is sewn onto the heart in place of the original valve. There are several different models available for aortic and mitral replacement surgery. Biological heart valve. Biological or bioprosthetic valves are composed animal or human tissue. Tissue valves can be used in open heart surgery or in a minimally invasive aortic operation known as transcatheter aortic valve implantation. Advantage of tissue valves compared mechanical valves include the avoidance of lifelong warfarin therapy to prevent the development of blood clots. A disadvantage is their relatively poor blood durability compared to mechanical valves, with many requiring reoperation in 10 to 20 years. Mechanical valves increase a patient's risk of blood clot formation as well as severe bleeding from the mandatory anti-clotting medication. Tissue valves are often more suitable than mechanical valves for patients who have a high risk of clotting or bleeding. Women who plan to have children also fall into this category, as warfarin cannot be used in pregnancy due to the risk of causing fetal malformations. As with all major heart operations, there are a number of possible complications from valve replacement surgery, including bleeding, infection, heart, and stroke.